I'm so glad you brought the subject of AI because AI has changed a lot of our lives and the journey that we're taking today is a lot of work have been affected by AI. My work
Yes.
has been
Yes.
affected by AI.
Yeah.
And even my content creation, now you can see the benefit and sometimes the negativity of AI. Now there's
Yeah.
a war in people's mind about AI.
Yes.
So people still see AI as a rival, right? From especially our generation, like I'm talking about the younger generation sees as a tool, but for us, it's more like we're still holding on to you have to learn, right? So how do you navigate that in this transition that you have in your life, accepting, especially our generation that we are,
Yeah.
accepting what AI is doing, the positive and the negative side of it. How do you navigate that as a director, especially in the company like the one year you started?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, it's a great question, Aileen. So I think, look, at the end of the day, I don't have the ability to influence whether or not AI is coming. Change is happening, right? You can either get on board and work with it, or you can try and buck against it. And if you buck against it, it's just not, you're going to come out the loser. It's the simple, that's the end of it, right? If I think about, the one thing I learned in history was when they made the sort of the production lines, and all of a sudden things were being automated with these production lines, especially with cars, right? Talking about, generations ago, centuries ago, not centuries, sorry, decades ago. That changed how people do things. People were put out of jobs, all that type of thing. And that is an unfortunate reality of change. Change is going to happen whether you like it or not. So you can either get on board with it or you can buck it.
Okay.
I decided to get on board with it. But the biggest thing for me, right, and especially in my business, but especially with my upbringing in that, is it's all about the ethics, right? So when I use AI, I tell people I'm using AI, right? I don't use AI to create content that I couldn't create. I use AI to verify my content mostly. So if I'm writing a report, for example, I will put all of my input and say, this is the feedback, this is the background, this is my recommendations based on that background. And then I say, right, can you put this into report format for me? And can you challenge my recommendations? Again, coming back to that point, right? I always ask AI to challenge my recommendations. So it's not coming up with its original content itself. I'm putting the content in. It's just validating or challenging me. And in some cases, it says, yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. And it says, you didn't think about this, that, and the next thing. And then you take that yourself and go, well, actually, no, in this context, what you've told me is wrong. I don't agree with it. And actually, yeah, that's a really good point. And then I put it into my own words.
Okay.
So for me, ethical AI is still the most essential thing. And I really, I think that you need to be using AI, right? We all need to be using AI, but just being aware of its limitations and being ethical about it. AI is not perfect. It does make mistakes. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
And, so you can't just get it to create an output for you and expect it to be 100% correct. It's not. It won't be, right? And I use different AI engines for different things as well, and all of that. But, because some of them are better at analysis and some of them are better at image creation, for example, and all that type of thing.